Mark chapter 4. Once more, he began to teach by the seaside, and a great multitude gathered around him, so he entered a boat and sat in the sea, while the entire crowd stood on the shore. He taught them many things in parables and said to them in his teaching, "Listen. A sower went out to sow. As he sowed, some seed fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured it. Other seed fell on rocky ground where it didn't have much soil. It sprang up immediately because it had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it didn't produce fruit. Still other seed fell on good ground and produced fruit that increased 30, 60, and 100 times." Then he said, "Let anyone who has ears to hear listen." When he was alone, those who were around him with the 12 asked him about the parables. He answered them, "The secret of the kingdom of God has been given to you, but to those outside, everything comes in parables. So that they may indeed look, and yet not perceive, they may indeed listen, and yet not understand, otherwise, they might turn back and be forgiven." He said to them, "Don't you understand this parable? How then will you understand any of the parables? The sower sows the word. Some are like the word sown on the path. When they hear, immediately Satan comes and takes away the word sown in them. Others are like the word sown on rocky ground. When they hear the word, immediately they receive it with joy. But they have no root, they are short-lived. When distress or persecution comes because of the word, they immediately fall away. Others are like the word sown among thorns. They hear the word. But the worries of this age, the deceitfulness of wealth, and the desires for other things enter in and choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But those sown on good ground are the ones who hear the word, receive it, and produce fruit 30, 60, and 100 times what was sown." He said to them, "Is a lamp brought in to be put under a basket or under a bed? Isn't it to be put on a lampstand? For nothing is concealed except to be revealed, and nothing hidden except to come to light. If anyone has ears to hear, let him listen." And he said to them, "Pay attention to what you hear. By the measure you use, it will be measured and added to you. For to the one who has, it will be given, and from the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away." He also said, "The kingdom of God is like someone who scatters seed on the ground. He sleeps and rises night and day, the seed sprouts and grows, although he doesn't know how. The soil produces a crop by itself, first the blade, then the head, and then the full grain on the head. As soon as the crop is ready, he sends for the sickle, because the harvest has come." And he said, "With what can we compare the kingdom of God, or what parable can we use to describe it? It's like a mustard seed that, when sown upon the soil, is the smallest of all the seeds on the ground. And when sown, it comes up and grows taller than all the garden plants, and produces large branches, so that the birds of the sky can nest in its shade." He was speaking the word to them with many parables like these, as they were able to understand. He did not speak to them without a parable. Privately, however, he explained everything to his own disciples. On that day, when evening had come, he told them, "Let's cross over to the other side." So they left the crowd and took him along since he was in the boat. And other boats were with him. A great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking over the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. He was in the stern, sleeping on the cushion. So they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to die?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Silence. Be still." The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And they were terrified and asked one another, "Who then is this? Even the wind and the sea obey him."